Hey, welcome to our day 6 debrief. My mom would say, famous last words when Pony said things couldn't get any worse, right? It's like it's like he knew or the universe knew, but it's like a perfect storm. So here's Pony and Johnny out wandering about at 2:30 in the morning. If they hadn't had that, if he hadn't fallen asleep and had the fight with Derry, then he would have been in bed. Johnny would have been tucked into the vacant lot by himself. How does that the best place to sleep? That shows you how bad his home was. But here they are out at 2:30 in the morning, completely alone, nobody there, and Bob and Randy and their buddies are drunk and angry and looking for trouble. They must have thought, "Hey, what luck? There's a couple of dummies out in the middle of the night." Uh, so everything else is pretty predictable when you put those ingredients together, right? And we already knew. Pony warned us early on. Johnny had been beaten up by Bob and company before. The rings gave it away. And he had the switchblade, and he wasn't going to be beaten around, messed around with, and beaten again. So they're all focused on Pony, and Johnny stabs Bob. What a moment. I mean, they're in a gang, they carry switchblades sometimes. Pony tells us he would never cut anybody. But there's always the threat of violence, right? And then when it really happens, it seems to really surprise and shock them. Neither of them ever anticipated getting into this kind of situation. Um, but they start panicking, and Pony definitely panics. Johnny has his moment, but you notice he kind of gets strangely calm and cool, like somehow all the adrenaline rush has resulted in him, thinking very clearly, and he's the calm, take charge one, where he's almost always, the pet, the little one that everybody else has to take care of. And he's like, we go and ask Dallas. He'll know what to do. And did you consider that Dallas has already had put together a plan for how to escape town and hide out? That tells you a little something about the guy. He's figured out which train to get on. He knows where this abandoned church is in another town. I mean, he did some looking. So this was prepared. He had thought it all through. And so he sends the guys off with $50 and a gun. Now, it was the 60s. $50 was a lot more money then. You could probably get a full meal at the McDonald's for $1, but still, how far could you get on $50 and a gun out on your own? How safe would you feel? How far do you think you could get if you had to be on the run? Uh, this is something that we're going to have to see resolved. So I want you to think, what's going to happen here? Do they come back? Do they go to jail? Um, how does this resolve? It's kind of hard to see how this can go well, right? Being on the run, and of course, the police do not respond well to people who are innocent but run, right? So even if it had been an honest misunderstanding, when you run, you look more guilty. But Johnny did, honest to goodness, stab Bob. Uh, so something's got to happen with this, right? And it's hard to see how that's going to resolve. So make your predictions. Be thinking, what's going to happen? How does this move forward? And we'll see you next time.